Once upon a time, a witch loved stories galore, and greedy as she was, she wanted more and more. When she saw that the librarian had stories of all kinds, she said, "I'll capture you, all your stories will be mine." There took place a curious chase through meadow, tree, and flower, till at last they ended up right at the witch's tower. Now poor Marian, the librarian, a prisoner she'll stay, until the witch is happy and lets Marian go away.
Hello. I was just cleaning up the dungeon a little. Since fall has come, all kinds of things come through the window. Lots of dried leaves. Here are some acorns. They must have fallen off an oak tree somewhere. You know, I wonder, if we put these things in the Once Upon a Time machine, do you suppose we would get a story about nature in the fall? Let's try that. Put in the leaves and the acorns. Let's see, what else do we need? Oh, look. Here's a pumpkin. Pumpkins grow in the fall. But we still need somebody, some person or animal for the story to be about. Oh, I've got something. Remember the witch said she wanted a story as quiet as a mouse? How about putting a mouse in the machine? Well, let's try this. Turn the machine on. And it's Mousekins' Golden House by Edna Miller. In the woods, there are many tall trees and small trees that reach to grow tall in the deep shade. There are low-growing bushes with berries and seeds that pop and roll about the forest floor. Beneath them all are tiny paths that only mice can see. One moonlit night, Mousekin followed just such a path to one of his homes in the chestnut log. And right in the middle of that very small path, Mousekin saw something that someone had thrown away when Halloween was over. He hid behind a log. Perhaps it was dangerous. Mousekin had never seen a jack-o'-lantern in all his mouse days. He wriggled his nose furiously at the strange pumpkin smell. He was so excited that he drummed his tiny paw on the hollow log. Mousekin was so interested in the jack-o'-lantern that he did not watch for danger with his bright shoe-button eyes. Nor did he turn his large ears to the breeze to listen for the sound of wings, for owls and hawks and other creatures who wait to catch a whitefoot mouse. Suddenly, as Mousekin made a second turn around the smiling face, a hungry young owl swooped toward him. But before the bird could even blink its eyes, Mousekin jumped straight into the jack-o'-lantern's mouth. Once inside, he looked about. He was in a beautiful golden room, just the right size for a little mouse. From one of the top windows of his new room, Mousekin could see the owl sulking in an evergreen tree. The first rays of the morning sun shone in the sky behind the owl. Night was over, and it was time for Mousekin to go to sleep. Mousekin felt safe inside the sturdy walls of his golden house. He did not awaken until evening, when the katydids began to argue. Katy did, Katy didn't. After he had stretched and cleaned his white undercoat, he began to explore his new home, scurrying in one window and out another. Now Mousekin was alert to all the sounds that filled the woods when evening came. He heard a rustle in the bayberry bush and a soft step on the dry autumn leaves. He knew it was the cat. Just as the cat was about to spring, Mousekin dove into the pumpkin and began to house clean. Out of all the windows flew bits of candle and pumpkin seeds. The cat jumped, but not for Mousekin. He jumped straight up, and then he ran as fast as he could to get away from the big round face with the terrible teeth. The cat would never take that path through the woods again. The days grew shorter and the nights longer. Mousekin worked each night to fill his house with things to keep him warm and comfortable in his new home. He split grasses with his razor-sharp teeth and wove the long, slender threads around and around. He made many trips through the woods to find soft things to line his nest, little feathers dropped by a bird in flight, thistledown, and milkweed that grew in the clearing. While Mousekin was busy gnawing and nibbling and doing all the things that mice do, he still found time to watch the animals that passed by his golden house. One very chilly evening, a box turtle plodded by. He never looked up or down, but moved like a toy being pulled to the pond at the edge of the wood, to some tangled tree root beneath the ground, where he would sleep away the winter months. But when the turtle reached the jack-o'-lantern, he stopped in his tracks, and he stretched his neck to see if what he saw was true. Just then, Mousekin popped his head out of one of his windows, and then the box turtle lost no time in turning around and heading once again for the tangled root beneath the ground near the pond at the edge of the wood. Most of the birds had gone to warmer lands. Only the phoebe bird was left in the thistle. The wind blew hard now, scooping up piles of leaves and scattering them about like hundreds of bright-winged birds. One day the phoebe called to Mousekin, "Come south with me. Come right away. Your house will never do. The wind will blow, the snow will snow, and chill you through and through." The little mouse whistled a high, soft goodbye. He would not leave his golden house. A chipmunk hurried by, his mouth so full of nuts he could hardly speak. "Come with me, beneath the ground. That house will never do. The wind will blow, the snow will snow, and chill you through and through." Mousekin scrambled up his golden house and slipped through a tiny opening at the top. He slid down the feathery stairway to the warm, soft lining below. Mousekin curled up, tucked his tiny feet beneath him, wrapped his long tail around some milkweed down, and pulled it closely around him, and fell fast asleep. Little by little, and bit by bit, something happened to the jack-o'-lantern. It began to close its eyes in the frosty air. It shut its mouth against the cold wind. The next day, the gray sky opened and great white flakes fell upon the sleeping pumpkin. Inside, Mousekin was curled up into a tiny fur ball. He was safe and warm and fast asleep in his golden house. Mousekin the little mouse lived in a golden house. Why, that rhymes. Mouse, house. We could make a song out of that. Let's see. Mousekin, the little mouse, lived in the golden house. Can you sing that? Let's try it. Mousekin, the little mouse, lived in a golden house. Oh, you sound so nice. I have an idea. Let's sing that song for Kerfumbly. That just might make her happy. We'll call her and then we'll sing the song together, okay? Left and right and Zachary Zoo, here's a story just for you.
Oh, another story. Thank you.
Wait just a minute. We have something special for you.
Oh, something special. Oh, what is it? What is it?
Well, just sit down right here. And look at the story. And listen. Are you ready? Mousekin, the little mouse, lived in a golden house. Mousekin found a jack-o'-lantern by a tree. He thought this could be a house for me. It kept him safe from an owl and a cat, and he lived very happily after that. Mousekin, the little mouse, lived in a golden house. Winter was coming, the leaves were falling down. The turtle made a winter home under the ground. The bird told Mousekin his house would never do, and Chipmunk said the wind would chill him through and through. Mousekin, the little mouse, lived in a golden house. Mousekin crawled inside his golden house. Jack-o'-lantern closed his eyes and closed his mouth. When winter came and the snow was deep, Mousekin was safe and sound asleep. Mousekin, the little mouse, lived in a golden house.
Oh, that was just lovely. A story about nature and a song about little Mousekin in the fall. Ah, but I want another story, don't you? What will I tell Marion so we'll get another story? Oh, I better put on my thinking cap. Oh, I've got it. I've got it. Marion.
Yes?
I loved your story about nature in the fall.
I'm so glad.
But there's one thing wrong with it.
What's that?
Well, it's too early.
Too early? What do you mean?
Why, jack-o'-lanterns don't come until Halloween. And it isn't Halloween yet.
But Halloween is coming.
Oh, I know that. It's my favorite holiday. But I want a story about something in nature that could happen right now.
Something in nature that could happen right now. Will you look for a story like that? And I'll see you right here next time.
Once upon a time, a witch loved stories galore, and greedy as she was, she wanted more and more. When she saw that the librarian had stories of all kinds, she said, "I'll capture you, all your stories will be mine." There took place a curious chase through meadow, tree, and flower, till at last they ended up right at the witch's tower. Now poor Marion, the librarian, a prisoner she'll stay, until the witch is happy and lets Marion go away.